Good morning, everyone. Hope all of you are good. Today, we're gonna start the fifth lesson in Module 7, which is write and solve one-step multiplication and division inequalities. So, in this lesson, you have to be able to write one-step multiplication and division inequalities from real-world situation and use inverse operation to solve the inequalities. First of all, grade 7, let us remember these inequality sign. First one is less than, which is indicated by a lot of words like less than, fewer than, under. The second one greater than, or more than, exceeds, above. These keywords that will help us to determine which inequality we will use it to write the inequality from word problem. Third one, less than or equal, or no more than, or at most, or maximum. Do you remember grade 7? Last one, greater than, or equal to, no least than, at least, and minimum. So all of these keywords which help us to determine which inequality we will use it to write the inequality from word problem. Let us take the first example. First example, write and solve one-step multiplication inequalities. Link earn $15 per hour working at the zoo. Write and solve an inequality to determine the number of hours Link must work in a week to earn at least $225. Then interpret the solution. So in this word problem, in this problem in grade 7, we have to write the inequalities in word. The amount earned per hour times number of hours is at least the amount earned each week, right? So what we will represent as a variable? As you see, we will represent the number of hours. So we will represent the numbers of hours as a variable. So I have to find the numbers of hours. And where is the inequality? Where is the word that will help me to write the inequality? It's at least, which is indicate by which inequality? At least. So at least it's 225, right? And 15 per hour. 15 per hour, which is mean 15 times how many hours. So I have to find how many hours. So 15 times x. Suppose x or any variable represent number of hours. Then in this case, first I wrote the inequality. After that, what I will do? As you know, the inequality is like equation. So whatever you do in the equation, you have to do in the inequality, right? So to solve the inequality, you have to isolate the variable alone. This is the main idea to solve the inequality or to solve equation. You have to isolate the variable alone by itself. How? By using the inverse of operation. So here, what is the operation do I have here? I have multiplication, right? I have multiplication. So to undo multiplication, we will use the inverse of operation, which is division. So I have to divide over 15, right? Divide over 15, both sides. As you know, whatever you do in one side, you have to do in the second side. Why? To get balance. So x here, divide by 15, divided by 15, it's going to be 1. So x is more than what? 15. 15, which is mean what? Remember that we represent number of hours by the variable. We represent the number of hours by the variable, which is mean what? Ling must work. Ling must work. How many hours? 15 hours or more. So she must work 15 hours, 15 hours or more. Now, how can I graph it? As you know, to graph any inequality, we have to draw number line, then line where is 15, suppose 15 is here, indicate the inequality by circle. What about this circle? Is it shaded or unshaded? Of course it's shaded. Why? Because it has equal sign. Then look at the inequality sign. Which side is toward the variable? It's the mouth of the inequality, or the x is more than it's mean go to the right side. So I'm gonna go to the right side, which is mean 15 and more. Okay, now let us take the other question. Becky wants to buy some fish for her aquarium. She has $20 to spend and the fish cost 2.50 each. Determine how many fish Becky can afford, then interpret the solution. As you see, grade 7, now she has. What does this keyword means? Or she has, what does it mean? She don't have more than 20. She don't have more than 20. So this is the maximum money that she have, right? So this is maximum amount of money she had, right? So 20, this is the maximum, which is, what is the keyword that represents maximum? If you go back to the inequality sign, where is the maximum? The maximum, it's mean what? Less than or equal. So no more than $20. This is the maximum she had, maximum $20. Okay, and she has $20 to spend and the fish costs 2.50 each. 2.50 each fish. Now, what are you wondering about? Determine how many fish that he can offer. So I have to represent fish. I have to represent number of fish, yeah, by any variable. Suppose it's what? Suppose it's f. So 2.5 multiplied by f, for example, and solve the inequality. As you know, solve inequality, it means what? It means just to find the value of the variable. And regarding to the inequality, we have to find the set of solution. This is the difference between the inequality and the equation. The equation, it has just one solution, but the inequality, it has a solution set. That's mean we have a very solution. Okay, now again, grade 7, I undo the multiplication here. How can I undo multiplication? By the inverse of operation, which is division. Divide over 2.5, divide 2.5. Why I divide by 2.5 both sides? Yeah, just to make the inequality, to make the balance for the inequality. Okay, now do I have to change the inequality sign? Of course not. Now why? Because I divide over positive coefficient. This is what you learned in the last lesson. So the inequality sign will be the same, is less than or equal 8. Yes, so that means what? He can buy at most 8 fish. That means he can buy at most he can buy 8 fish. Okay, this inequality, what does it mean? What does it mean? F, it represents how many fish, right? And what about the inequality sign? This inequality sign indicates that she or he need at most 8 fish or maximum 8 fish. Okay, all of the word problem, it just need to focus on the keyword. Focus on the keyword and focus on all what are you wondering about, and to represent what you need to represent what by any variable. Okay, Say you, for example, this question said you want to make several batches of rolls. She has 13 tablespoons of yeast left in the jar, and each batch of rolls take 3 and 1/4 tablespoons. Determine the number of batches of roll Teddy can make. Then interpret the solution. Again, grade 7. First of all, what are you wondering about? You are wondering to write what determine the number of what patches. The number of patches so represented by any variable. Suppose it's what? Suppose it's x. Okay. Now she has 13 tablespoons. She has 13 tablespoons, which is mean what? She have maximum, right? So 13 tablespoons, this is the maximum number of tablespoons that she had. So maximum, how can I represent maximum by the inequality sign, which is less than or equal. Great. So less than or equal 13. Okay, now, and each batches of rolls take 3/4 tablespoon. Okay, so each tablespoon, yeah, take each roll, each batch of roll, each batch of roll takes 3 and 1/4, which is mean what? 3 and 1/4 times x, or times number of batches less than or equal 13. Okay, grade 7. Now here again, the same idea, but what is the difference? We have here a fraction. Just we have fraction, grade 7. Now, how can I solve this inequality? You can solve it by, up to you. It's up to you. Change it to decimal number, change it to fraction, as you like. You can change it to fraction, improper fraction, by what? Multiply the denominator by the whole number, then add the numerator over the same denominator. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 13/4x is less than or equal 13. Now, what is the coefficient of the variable here? What is the coefficient of the variable? The coefficient of the variable, which is mean the number that's multiplied by the variable. What is the number that's multiplied by the variable? We have a fraction, improper fraction, 13/4. How can I solve it? I will solve it by multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of this fraction is 4/13, right? So whatever you do in one side, you have to do on the other side. So you will multiply the other side by 13, 4/13. Then cancel these together, which is mean I have to isolate it. I will get the variable alone by itself, or the coefficient of the variable gonna be just 1. Yes, I don't multiply by negative sign, so I don't change the inequality sign. Okay, now here 13 times 4/13, I can simplify it by cancel the numerator with denominator together, simplify it and get 4. X is less than or equal 4, which is mean what? Which is means Sadie can make at most 4 batches. So she can make at most or maximum number of batches. How much? Maximum, at most she can make 4 batches. Okay, now let us take another question. Dominic has invited 12 friends. She has invited 12 friends to his party. Okay, how much can he spend per person on party favor in his budget is more if his budget is no more than 75? write and solve an inequality to determine the budget for each person. Then interpret the solution. So again, grade 7. He has invited 12 friends. He invited 12 friends on his birthday party. How much can she spend? How much can he spend per person? So I have to find how much he can spend per person in the party. Okay, if his budget is no more than 75, no more than 75. So this keyword will help me to write the inequality. No more than. That's mean what? Less than or equal. No more than 75. Right? Now, how many person? It's 12 person. Okay, for each one. I don't know how much can he spend for each person or per each person. So I'm gonna write 12 times x or times y times any variable you need. Okay, now in this case you can solve the inequality. Can you solve the inequality? Of course, yes, because I have just one step a multiplication inequality by undo the operation. I have multiplication, so I have to divide over 12. Both sides I have to divide it over 12. Then do I need to change the inequality sign? Of course not. Why? Because I didn't divide it by negative coefficient. So 12 divided by 12, it's going to be 1. Sorry. Twelve divided by 12, it's going to be with x. X is less than or equal what? 6.25. 6.25. What does this mean? What does this mean? X. From the beginning, X is represent what? It's represent the money per person. The money per person. So he can Dominic he can spend no more than 6.25. This is means no more than $6.25 per person in party. Okay, so he cannot spend more than 6.25. No more than $6.25 per person. Okay, now yes, we have another question. Thomas wants to make popsicles from a juice mixture. He needs 7.5 ounces of juice for each popsicle and want to make no more than 12 popsicles. How much juice should he make? Now, write and solve inequality to determine the amount of juice he needs to make, then interpret the solution. As the same as a question before, I have here keyword that will help me to write the inequality, which is what? Which is he want to make no more 12 popsicles. So no more 12 popsicles, which is indicate no more, that's mean what? No more, it's less than or equal 12 popsicles. Okay, again, he want to make popsicles from this mixture. He needs 7.5 ounces of juice. 7.5 ounces of juice for each what? For each popsicles. So this is no more popsicles, and he need to make 7.5 or ounce of juice for each popsicle. So do I know how many popsicles? No, I don't know how many what is the number of popsicles. So I don't know it. This is that I will represent it by what? I represent it by any variable. Suppose it's y. Okay, it's y over what? 7.5, which is the number of ounces of juice. So I have to find what? I have to find the amount of juice he need to make. Okay. In this case, grade 7, as you see, what is the coefficient of the variable? The coefficient of the variable, which is mean the number that multiplied by the variable. It's 1 over 7 over and 7.5. 1 and 7 over 7.5. How can I isolate the variable alone? How can I isolate the variable y alone? By multiply it by the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 1 over 7.5? It is 7.5 over 1, 7.5 over 1. Less than or equal what? 12. 12 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 7.5, which is 90. 90 what? 90 what? Ounce of juice. So Thomas need to make no more than 90. He need to make, sorry. He need to make no more than 90 ounce. 90 ounces of juice. Okay. Okay, I think it's enough for this lesson. Let us take the last question. Paul was making a picture frame. He want to make at least 8 pictures. He want to make at least the 8 pictures. Okay, 8 picture frames and need 24.5 inches of materials for each frame. Determine how much of the materials Paul should buy. Then interpret the solution. Again, grade 7. Again, what are you wondering about? You are wondering about what? To find what? How much of the material. So I have to find how much of the material. So from the question, you can guess the operation. You can guess the operation. Again, for making a picture frame, we want to make at least. And where is the keyword that will help me to write the inequality? At least, which is indicate by more than or equal. At least how many picture? How many picture? It's 8. Okay. Frame and need 24.5 inches of materials. So inches of material, 24.5 inches of material for each frame. For each frame, I don't know how many frames. Okay, I don't know how many frames. So for each material, we need 24.5. Okay, so suppose the variable that will indicate the material he should buy, it's X. Okay, now how can I solve this inequality? Pi multiplied by the reciprocal again. So you have to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal? It's 24.5 over 1 times 24.5 over 1. Then cancel these together. X, it's gonna be more than or equal 196. 196, which is mean what? He needs at least 196 inches of material. So he needs at least, because this is the variable. This is the inequality sign. At least he needs 169 of the materials. Okay, now grade 7, let us go to the next lesson, which is write and solve two-step inequalities. This is the 6th lesson in this chapter. In this lesson, the objectives of this lesson are to you have to be able to understand how to solve two-step inequalities and write and solve two-step inequalities from real world problems. Now, grade 7. The warming up, solve each inequality. I have here inequality, I have to solve it. This inequality, how can I solve it? Or what is the main idea to solve the inequality? Solving the inequality, it's very simple, similar to solving equation. What we do to one side, we need to do to the other side in order to maintain the balance of the inequality, right? And the properties of inequality can help us to understand how to add, how to subtract, how to multiply or divide within the inequality. Okay, so as with one-step inequalities, we can solve two-step inequality. The same procedure or the same method. Okay, now here the main idea is to isolate the variable alone by itself by undo the operation. So x is what is the operation that's performed by the variable x? Adding. So I will undo the add by subtract. Subtract 3 from both sides. So x gonna be more than or equal what? 9. So this is the answer. And that's mean what? All the numbers that more than 9, including 9, are the solution set. You can draw it by the number line. Line, where is 9? This is 9, indicated by shaded circle. Why? Because it has equal sign, and go to the right side. Okay, now what about this? This This is equation. Equation, how can I solve it? By undo the operation, right? We gonna start with the with adding and subtracting, then remove multiplication and division. So we will cancel 7 or isolate the variable alone by undo the operation. 4x equal 13 minus 7. Yes, 13 minus 7 equals 7. It's 6. After that, you have to divide over 4. Then x is equal 6 over 4 in the simplest form. This is improper fraction. You can write it as the simplest form. It's 1 and 2 over 4 or 1 and half. Okay. Let us take the same. So what is the two-step inequalities? It is the inequalities which is contain two operation. Look at this inequality. I have this inequality negative 5x minus 12 is less than or equal 8. What are the operations here? First one it's multiplication, second one it's subtraction. So first of all I will cancel or remove 12, remove adding or subtracting operation from the inequality by cancel it by adding 12 for both sides. So negative 5x is less than or equal what? 10. And this is 12. So this is 20. 20. After that, I have to divide over negative 5. I will divide over the same coefficient. I will divide over the same coefficient in order to isolate the variable alone. Now, because I'm a divide over negative sign, so I have to change. This is the main difference between the inequality and the equation. If you divide or multiply by in negative coefficient, you have to flip the inequality sign. You have to flip it or to switch it. So x, look, this is the inequality sign, so I have to flip the inequality sign. 20 divided by negative 5, it's negative 4. This is the answer. And you can graph it easily by graph where is negative 4 and line shaded circle because it has equal sign. And look at the inequality, the variable, the mouth of the inequality is toward the variable. That indicate that I'm gonna go to the right side. Okay, now let us take a grade 7 decimal number. The same procedure or the same method that we use it to solve the inequality by two-step by the same procedure. Sorry. Now let us take here 4 point minus 3.25 is less than point. So we have two operations. So I'm gonna start with adding and subtracting. So I will cancel it first. Cancel what? Cancel the subtraction by adding 3.25. Add 3.25 for both sides. Now cancel these together. 4.7x is less than or equal 14.1. 14.1. Now I gonna what? I gonna divide over 4.7 both sides. 4.7 and be careful, focus. I divided over what? Positive or negative coefficient? Yes, of course I divided here by positive coefficient, so I will not change the inequality sign. The inequality sign will be the same. So 14.1 divided by 4.3, 4.7, it's going to be 3. Now, as you know, grade 7, how can I deal with the decimal numbers? The same here, because the divisor it contains decimal point, decimal digit, so I need to remove the decimal point just one digit. Why? Because I have to the denominator must be whole number. Be sure that the denominator whole number. It doesn't matter if the numerator, if it's decimal or whole number, doesn't matter. So whatever you do in the denominator, you have to do in the numerator. So when you change the decimal point just one digit to the right, you have to do it to change the decimal digit one digit to the right. So it's going to be 141 divided by 47 by long division. You will get the answer 3. Then how can I draw it or graph it? Line, where is 3? Suppose this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Put circle over 3. What about the circle? It's shaded. Why? Because the inequality sign, it has equal sign, so I will shade the inequality sign. Now I'm gonna go to the right or left. Look at the variable. What is the side of the inequalities toward the variable? Is the corner. So that's mean go to the left. Or all the number that's below 3 are solution set of this inequality. Okay, so what about the fraction? Also the same procedure. Now 3 over 4x minus 1 over 2 is more than 3 over 8. Now I have to cancel negative half. To isolate the variable alone, I will cancel the operation with the variable. Step by step, I will start with adding and subtraction and reverse of operation. I will start with the reverse of operation, the order of operation. So how can I cancel it? By add 1 over 2 for both sides. Cancel half with half. So 3 over 4x is more than 3 over 8 plus 1 over 2. Focus. Grade 7 here. Can I add unlike a fraction? Of course no. I have to make the same. I have to make it the same denominator. So I will multiply the second fraction by 4 to get 8. And here 3 over 8x is more than 3 plus 4 over 8. Now 3 over 8x is more than 7 over 8. Just wait a minute. Sorry. Now 3 over 8x is more than 7 over 8. Yes, grade 7. Now I need to isolate the variable alone by multiply it by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 3 over 8 is 8 over 1 or 8 over 3. Multiply the second one by 8 over 3. Now cancel these together, so x is more than. Now, do I have simplification here in this side? Yes, I have 8 and 8 will cancel together, so it's gonna be 7 over 3. Look at this. Look at this fraction. Is it this is improper fraction, so I can change it to mixed number. How many 3? How many 3 are in 7? It's 2, and the remainder is 1 over 3, right? Now to represent it orthograph it, draw number line. Here 1, here 2, 3. I have 2 and 1 over 3. So in this case, divide the interval from 2 to 3 4 to 3 increment. 3 increment 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3, right? And all of you know that any number by over itself, it's going to be 1. So 3 divided by 3, it's 1. So here, this is 1 over 3, 2 over 3, 3 over 3, which is mean 1. So I have 2 and 1 over 3. So I will locate the circle or here 2 and 1 over 3. What about the circle? It's unshaded because it doesn't have equal sign. And what about the variable? The side of the inequality is toward the variable, the white side. So I'm going to go to the right side. So all the number that more than 2 and 1 over 3 and 2 and 2 and 1/3, it's not included in the solution set or the solution. Let us take word problem. A rental company charged $15 plus $4 per hour to rent a bicycle. If Margie wants to spend no more than 27 for her rental, write and solve an inequality to determine how many hours she can rent by bicycle, then interpret the solution. Again, grade 7. Now, I'm gonna write the inequality by using the keyword that will help me to write the inequality. Look here, where is the keyword that can help me? $15. Okay, the rental company charges $15, so $15. Now plus, just look at the word problem and translate it. Plus, I can write it by plus $4 per hour. $4 per hour. That's which is mean for each hour it costs $4. 4 times any variable, suppose it's x. Okay. If Margie want to spend no more than, which is mean what? No more than, which is mean less than or equal 27. Okay, so the question asks you to write. First, you wrote the inequality. I wrote it. Okay, good. Now solve it. solve it. How can I solve it? By undo the operation which is performed by the variable. To isolate the variable alone, I'm gonna move 15 from this side to other side, or to cancel 15 from this side, cancel 15 by negative because it's positive. So subtract 15 from both sides. 4x is less than or equal 25 divide 27 minus 15, which is 12, then divided by the coefficient. What is the coefficient? Is 4. Divided by 4, divided by 4. Now, because I divide by positive number, so no need to change the inequality sign. It's less than or equal 3. So x here, which is x, what is represent? X here represent the the hours. So Marian can rent the bicycle for up to 3 hours. Up to 3 hours. Why up to 3 hours? Look at this. 3 hours, or up to, she can rent it up to 3 hours. Okay, grade 7. So the summary for this lesson. What is the summary of this lesson? The inequality model problem, yani, that have range answer. You know, range answer. Why? Because I have inequality, not equation. Okay, and I can graph it by number line. Okay, so you can graph it in the number line, and whatever you do in the equation, you can do it to inequality sign, which is mean whatever you do in one side, you have to do in the another side to keep the inequality in balance. Okay, and if you multiply by positive coefficient, you don't need to change the inequality sign. But if you multiply or divide by negative coefficient, you have to flip the inequality sign. Thank you, grade 7, for listening. Hope you understood this lesson. Thank you.